Hello everyone, how you doing? This is Horace from In Focus with Horace Frame by Frame. We're talking about videography and photography here. In the past, we have some great guests on, talking about the business, talking about the pandemic, talking about art, talking about creativity, talking about life. We're going to do the same thing today. We're guesting Jose Torres. He's a great individual. He's creative. He likes artwork. He likes to be creative. Just loves just the art part of everything. He's also passionate. He gets into his life. He puts his life into what he wants to do. He puts his heart into what he wants to do, and he does some good stuff. Also, he's a great learner. He's a level learning. Goes out there, trying to improve himself and improve his talents, his gifts, his skills, and tries to work on those. So that's me talking about Jose. I want Jose to say hi to everybody, and then we can talk about photography, actually videography today.
Hey everyone. Horace, firstly, I want to thank you for that introduction. Thank you for featuring me on the show. It truly is an honor. Um, but yeah, here I am.
All right, I'm glad you're here to talk to us. How's your day been so far today, Jose?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I got some breakfast and been up early.
So you got a normal day today. How's the pandemic been treating you?
Pandemic. It's been a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. I was in the hospital for a week in April, but um, thankfully I've been blessed with the ability to work through the pandemic. You know, not too often, but I've been able to sustain myself.
That sounds great. That sounds like it's actually positive. Saying stuff is something good to hold on to, something good to actually do. Um, what kind of stuff have you been doing to sustain yourself? Any kind of activities, any kind of programs that you've been doing? Just let us know.
Yeah. So throughout the pandemic, I've been able to still keep working at my job. I work in an off-Broadway theater in the South Bronx called Pregones Theater, and we've been blessed to be able to continue um, showing our performances and our stuff, you know, without the public being in the theater. But what we've been doing is um, live streaming and filming everything. So they've allowed me to be on that team, and um, it's been great. You know, I've learned a lot. And you know, one of the other things that I've been doing throughout this time at home is I've been researching a lot. It's given me a lot of time to grow personally, but I've also gotten the chance to do a lot of research for because I'm looking for a new school to go to. I was previously enrolled at a university, but um, I wasn't too much of a fan. It wasn't right for me. So now I've been doing some research, and now I'm looking to go out of state. Actually,
For school?
the school that I'm looking at is Christ for the Nations. Um,
Okay, it's faith based.
yeah, it's faith based, but I'm looking towards studying some kind of creative media major, so film, lighting, sound, that kind of stuff.
You said creativity and you're doing that. You said create passion and you're doing that. You said you like to learn and you're doing that.
Yeah, I love learning. I'm always looking, even if I'm not in a learning environment. I always take the opportunity to just analyze what other people are doing and why they're doing it. Um, it's not always what people are doing that's important, but it's also why they're doing it. That's where you can learn.
All right. That sounds excellent. Sounds excellent. When do you work? Do you work by yourself?
Um, Actually, no. I can work with myself by myself, and I have done that before. But most of the time, I'm usually working on a team, uh, usually with at least one or two other people. But I've worked on teams of up to 5 to 7 people.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
So, genre of videography. What do you say? What would you say your favorite part of videography is? What genre? What type of video that you like to do?
Um, I'd say my favorite part of videography is being able to capture the moment of what's going on. Interestingly enough, when I'm at my own event or something that I was invited to for myself, uh, not something I was hired to work at, I won't take any videos and I'll probably not take any photos because I want to enjoy the moment. But when I'm hired to do those events and stuff, or even to just capture stuff for like a marketing video or something, I think it's really great to be able to capture that moment so that others can kind of just see what goes on, you know? And my favorite part about that process is being able to experience those things.
That sounds good. I think it's a great answer to that question. I really answer that. How do you find inspiration? Do you find it difficult? Do you find it easy to find inspiration for your work?
I find inspiration pretty much everywhere. I think finding inspiration for me, um, it's really easy. And I mean, I'll go through my seasons where I won't find any inspiration anywhere. I can sit and stare at something that I will normally find inspiration in, and and I'll get nothing. But I think that happens with most, if not every artist. They'll encounter that kind of dry season, um, and it can happen from time to time. But for me, I can find inspiration anywhere. A lot of times, I'll find inspiration in books. Throughout this year, because I've had so much time, I've been on a book buying frenzy. I've been buying books left and right. Um, and I find inspiration in people's writing, but I also find inspiration in nature. I like to go outside. I like to go to the park. Throughout this year, I've been blessed with the ability to spend my time with two individuals who have become very near and dear to my heart, and we've been able to go everywhere throughout New York. And we even journeyed into New Jersey once. But it's been great because I've been able to get inspiration from many different places throughout the city, throughout the beaches, parks, stuff like that. Um, yeah.
Sounds excellent. Sounds excellent. How long have you been a videographer? How long have you considered yourself a videographer?
Oh man. Well, I don't know that I would just consider myself a videographer because I do a lot of creative work. I do a lot of photography, videography, sound engineering. I've been doing sound for close to 10 years now. I started in my church when I was about 10 years old. Um, and from there, I was introduced to just taking pictures of everything and capturing things on video. But I would say that I started taking videography seriously. Almost, it's been a year now, actually. I was gifted all this photography and videography equipment by this amazing woman. And it's some of the equipment that I'm using right now for this interview. But that's when I started everything. That's where I started. That's where one of the videos that we're going to see today was produced. That's how it was produced. And I would say it's been about a year since I started taking it very seriously. Before that, it was just a hobby and an interest.
That sounds great. That sounds great. You did mention you're creative. I think that's good talent, good quality to have. But actually, kind of done talking about the interview segment of the show. We're going to get into some videos. We're going to watch them, critique them, and let people know what was behind the scenes and see what we have to say about that. Okay? All right, so everybody just take a break and we'll be right back.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
That was a short video produced by producer shopper Jose Torres. You're gonna sit down and get behind the scenes, ask some questions. Okay? Are you ready for us, Jose?
Yep.
All right. That young woman in the video was talking about the living water and the balloons. Was she the youth pastor?
She actually is a youth pastor. We lead the youth ministry together.
Okay.
But she's also the children's pastor.
That sounds good. That sounds good. How long have you been doing that? Being the pastor with her?
I'm not a pastor. I'm just a leader. We took over, I think, in 2018. And since then, we've been working with one other person as well.
All right. Was that shot in a community center or at your church, or is your church a community center?
This was shot at my church, but we have a community service program that runs on Saturdays in 3-month intervals. So one from February to, I think, the end of April, and one from September to December.
Okay. You said the church. Where's your church located again? You said the South Bronx?
Yeah, it's in the South Bronx. It's close to Yankee Stadium on 166 and Morris Avenue.
I actually saw something. I saw when they're doing the seamstress, the sewing.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminded me of the mask for COVID. And I was thinking, did it ever get to the business of providing masks with the sewing talent, or is that something else we going there?
So what that was, it was so the program is a kids program. It's an arts program for kids in the community. It's totally free. And that one shot that you saw was from one of the classes that we had for parents. Throughout the years, we've had different classes, but last semester, I think for 2 years now, we've had the sewing class for parents. But I don't know if some of the parents have gone on to make masks, but I'm hoping that they have, because we had one parent who actually showcased some clothing that she had made for her daughters, because of the skills that she learned in the class. So do I know for sure if anybody has gone on to make some masks? I don't know, but I know that some of the teachers have worked on a few. They've given some out at the church. As far as students go, I'm not sure.
What's the enrollment at the center? How many children? How many parents? What's like the total number of people there?
As far as the parent classes go, sometimes it varies, because some of the parents can't commit to coming every Saturday. So I mean, sometimes we would have parents come in for 1-2 Saturdays in the semester, and that was it. And I think for the kids, we had one time we had an enrollment that was close to 125 students.
Okay.
Yeah, and all of our staff are volunteers.
Okay. Have you taken any young children under your wing about working on your creative works?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Have you been mentoring any students about the creativity part? The video, the videography, the writing, the music, the art, the audio? Have you been taking any kind of children under your wings and teaching them things?
Yes, actually. So one of the things that I've done is there are 2 members actually of my youth group. He started off in the program. One of them started off in the program, and from there we saw an interest. We saw that he had potential, and I kind of just started seeing what he could do, and he ended up working on the production team with me. And now because of COVID, he stepped down for a while so he could just relax and make sure everyone is safe. We have a limited amount of people that can be in the booth right now, but I've kind of taken him under my wing, make sure that he is growing, not just in the creative aspect, but also as a person. That's really important to me.
That's a good model, to be worried about the personality, actually the people part. It's not the technical part or the work part. I like to answer questions. I like to answer some of my questions. They were great. We're actually going to go to the next video. We'll take a break first, and we'll get to that, and we come back here and we discuss it again. Okay, is that all right with you?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, great. See you guys in a few.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hola, soy Teresa Yenque, una actriz peruana que reside en Nueva York desde el año 1960 y estoy haciendo teatro en español, en inglés, también televisión y películas. Y bueno, espero que disfruten este material o esta partecita de mi vida, ¿no? que les voy a contar.
All right, everyone, we're back. That's a short video by Jose. We're going to talk about what went on behind the scenes like we do. Like we usually do. Jose, first question: who was that?
So the woman speaking was the woman that you saw in the photos. Her name is Teresa Yenke, and she's an artist that I worked with as part of the Performing Arts Legacy Project at Pregones Theater. And basically my task was to interview her and to get to know who she was. And based on the information that she gave me, I was there to document her career in the performance world.
All right, that sounds great. I like the video. I like the pan from the pictures. Can you explain to me how you did that? Just spot pictures with the camera, or what did you do?
Yeah, so those were all pictures and photos that she gave us that she's gotten from various photographers throughout the years. From different productions, some were from movie sets, some were from just some of the different works that she's done. There were pictures there from one of her first productions to some of her last productions. Basically what I did for that was I laid them all in the theater. We have this kind of bar counter, and I just laid them all out, all the photos. And that day I did not have any of my camera equipment with me, but what I did was I used my phone. I have an iPhone 11 Pro Max, so the camera quality on that is great. What I did was I just went over it I put it in slow-mo mode, and I just went over it. Went from right to left, and then I hopped on the computer. I think that day I was using Adobe Premiere, and I just slowed it down, made sure it looked good, and that was that.
All right. You mentioned iPhones, and I kind of have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Technology-wise, what would you like to use? Would you like to use in the future? You kind of desire to work with in the future, and what you work with now? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, you mean equipment-wise, right?
Equipment-wise, yeah.
So right now, what I'm using for most of my work is a Canon 7D, a Canon T5, and a bunch of different lenses. My favorite lens is the 50 millimeter lens, because it you can have things that are closer to you in focus, and then the rest of it is it's completely blurred out, and the kind of dimension that you get from that I just love. The feeling that it gives off, but it's not right for every shot, and with that I also use a gimbal that I bought. I use my iPhone. It all depends on the kind of shot that I'm looking for. If I'm aiming for something that's a little bit more crisp and very clean cut, I'll probably use the 7D. If I'm looking for something that's great quality, really high quality, but doesn't need to, I don't really need to put too much flair into it, I'll use the T5. And if it's something that I'm doing really like in a hurry, I'll probably end up using my iPhone if I don't have much time. But when I have time, I'll go ahead and I'll set up everything. I'll use all my lights. I'll bring out the gimbal. I'll set up like 4 tripods if I can. You know, I'll go all out if I have time.
Sounds good. Sounds good. What country was she from, Miss
I'm sorry.
Teresa?
Oh,
What country was she from?
she is from Peru, born and raised.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Was she speaking English? I mean, was she speaking Spanish or Portuguese or?
She was speaking Spanish. Yeah.
All right. What was she saying?
She was just giving us an introduction on who she is. So that video was actually part of a much longer interview. I believe it was a total of 20 minutes. But I just wanted to show this one because it was the full interview is very similar to the last interview. I mean, to the last video we saw. And I just wanted to give you a different perspective of what kind of work I do. You know, this video gives you more of a taste of, so that actually gives you more of a taste of what I can do. This video, the music was recorded in my church. I had the musicians play something out and I recorded it. So that was a taste of what I can do also with my work in sound. It gave you a taste of what I can do in the videography section area of my life. And yeah.
All right. What role did she play in history? She was an actor. Was she ever like a political actress or political star, or was she just a good performer?
That's a good question. She's done a lot of works in the past, and I know that some of the works that she's worked in some of the works that she's acted in have been, some of them will take a kind of like a political stance on what's going on. They'll speak to something that's going on in society. But has she ever decided that she's going to stand up for something specific through her acting? I don't know. But I know that some of the roles that she's been in have had that, I'd say, that authority.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Jose, I want to actually talk to you about your future. What kind of projects do you have in the future? Which one? Your off-Broadway playhouse, your community center, your church. What kind of things do you have in the future?
So for my immediate future, well, right now, for the rest of this year and for the first 6 months of next year, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of research and trying to grow as much as I can on my own. Then starting in maybe August, I'm planning on starting classes in whatever university I end up in. I do want to continue doing continue living this production lifestyle. I consider it a lifestyle. It's not just a career, because everything I do, everything I experience it through the eyes of someone who's in production. I'll go to a concert or I'll go to a theater and I'll consider the things that they're doing, why they're doing them. I might even go and ask questions. But I know that this is something I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and it's a skill that I'm blessed to have. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a career path for me forever. I am going to study to be a pastor, and I know that that's going to take up some of my time. So as far as my plans go, I know that I want this to be part of my future. Will it? I know I'm going to use it someday.
Jose, I'm great that you're here with us today. You've done a lot about you, about your work. You got a glimpse of your future. I wish you the best. So, actually, for fans and our viewers out there, it's the end of the show. So, say goodbye for now, not forever. So, Jose, you can say goodbye and be on our way.
All right. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. And Horace, thank you so much for having me on your show. Like I said, it is a huge honor to be here. Thank you for just showing everyone some of the work that I do. I appreciate it so much. And everyone, thank you so much for watching.
All right. Thank you, Jose. Signing off.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
kisses. Give kisses. Look. Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud that was.
I know, I
Stick to
heard.
that.
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the.
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Bacon.